Hey guys, Kev here, and it's time for me to do something stupid once again. So this here is my brand new Laconico custom Jasmine CJ Lefty, and I seem to struggle with this knife for some reason. Now I did get it centered and I Loctited it, and I've had no issue with that. It locks up. It has no play, and it's centered. Beautiful. No lock stick or anything. So I feel dumb taking it apart, but I want to get some lube in there. I want to maybe polish the washers if I can. I'm not patient enough to just sit here and flick it a bunch of times. And I also struggle, it seems like, to flick it. I don't know. Of course, right now I'm fine just flicking it out, but I was struggling to flick it. And, you know, I was locking up the lock bar or whatever. The reverse flick is fine. Just couldn't quite get the thumb flick down. I think that's just because I'm so used to right-handed knives that this is what I'm used to. I can put my fingers anywhere over here, right? Grip it however I want and flick the knife. But on a left-handed frame lock, you can't have your finger on the lock bar. It's locked up right now. So I have to kind of learn to not put pressure down with this finger and flick it out. I also have a bit of a boo-boo on my thumb. So now I'm kind of second guessing this video, but I might as well do it. See what's inside. We can re-Loctite it and go from there. Or I could just cut this video off, not ever show it to you, which would be the smart thing to do, and just let it break in. I want it to drop to my nail at least, and I can't even get it to start dropping. See there, I just got it to there, and then I have to close it like that. So it's just a little bit annoying that I have to do this every time. I don't need it to drop shut. I just want it to, you know, swing down a little bit. So I don't know. I'm tempted to take it apart and just polish those washers a little bit. They will do it themselves over time, I assume. I don't know if they'll ever get to the point where it'll drop to my nail, though. But I also don't want to mess the knife up by taking it apart. You know, you got this little stop pin in there. You got the screws there. Maybe I'll just check the screws. And then leave it alone. You don't get a very kathunky sound either, but that might be a washer thing. I think these are more me issues, right? There's nothing wrong with this knife. This knife is wonderful. And my plan is to give it as much of a shot as I can. I have other washer knives that I really like. Two in particular. I have the Quiet Carry Drift, and I have the Quiet Carry Waypoint. Now, these are liner locks, so I think with a liner lock, you're able to get a little bit more pressure on the lock bar without causing it to feel too stiff. I know that sounds weird, but like, you see how that just pops out of there? Barely doing anything. Yet it doesn't feel strong at all, if that makes sense. Where this, even just more of a push than on this, it doesn't pop the same way. And it actually, I feel more pressure on my fingers. So I don't know if that's me and the lock bar or the knife, or it could be how smooth it is in the washers. I've had this Quiet Carry for over a year, and I've actually carried and used it quite a bit, and it does actually drop a little bit like that. It was dropping more than that before I loaned it out, and then I think I tried to clean it or re-Loctite it or something. But you can see there, I can get it to shake down, and boom, it closes, right? The Waypoint, also a liner lock, is so buttery smooth, and this one not as much on the shakedown. And that's what I'm worried about, is that the Jasmine will end up being just like the Waypoint. I love the Waypoint, but the Waypoint feels snappier on deployment, and I don't have to worry about where my fingers are. And that's kind of what is getting to me right now with this guy, is I have to worry so much about where my fingers are, and I've had time. I'm like afraid to flick it because I'm afraid I'm gonna, you know, lock it up and then rip my thumb apart. So I've been kind of doing the double stud where I put my index finger over here and I push with both fingers so that I don't have this finger on the lock bar on accident. Out like that, see, and then I'm like, ugh, and then I get discouraged. So, but I don't know if taking it apart is going to do anything for that. But I did kind of want to get some slick-em-all in there. I cannot reverse flick this right-handed. I think it's just because of the lock bar, even though I swear I'm not on it right now, and I still can't flick it out. But the thumb flick is money. And I do kind of wish he had jimped this right here. Just move your name down a little bit and jimp this, because this is definitely front flickable. I could probably do it right-handed pretty easy. Yeah, like I can almost get it all the way out right-handed. There you go. But left-handed, again, lock bar is the whole thing. I don't know. It just seems like it's tight. But I don't want to loosen the pivot. So do I just let it go and let it break in? Those washers will do the job, I'm guessing. You can see I got it perfectly centered, and then I Loctited it. And it was a super interesting feeling when I did it, because the pivot was like still free spinning, basically. This screw. It was just spinning in place. Not in place. It was just like I needed no torque to spin it. It didn't feel like a tight pivot, if that makes sense. Yet the blade was centered and there was no blade play, you know? So it's just a custom thing, I think, that he has that kind of precision, or, you know, the way he does whatever he does with his pivot, you don't need to tighten it all the way to get it to where you need it, which is fine with me. If I would have tightened it more to where it was tight, this blade would have been all the way over there, you know, or over here, whatever, which way. See there, I keep doing that, and that's just me not knowing frame lock lefties well, right? I don't even know why people like doing that. I like that. I mean, that just, listen to it. It just seems to pop more right-handed. I don't know what I'm doing that's different, but maybe you gotta like put your finger up here, kind of. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I wanted to get some slick-em-all in there and other stuff, but now I'm questioning myself a little bit here, as you can tell. So I may hold off, and I may I tried to do it without taking it apart. So I tried to put some slick-em-all in there. It comes with this cool little needle, but even that needle is too big. It won't fit down next to that washer. So, and I'm afraid to get anything on the lock bar or on the tang, because then I'll have lock stick, right? So I think I might just carry this and use it and see how she breaks in, maybe. And if I need to take it apart at some point to maintenance it, then I can deal with that, right? But it honestly feels like a sea otter, which makes sense because Ray, you know, basically designed the sea otter. But the detent feels, at least compared to the one I had and the ones I've handled, it feels crisper, much crisper on this one. I don't know if maybe he knew that I'm a bitch about detents and tightened it up, but it just has a little more detent, in my opinion, which is good because I want it to fly out like that. The sea otter, I feel like I had to wrist it to get the reverse flick. This, okay, if my finger is not in the way, just snaps right out, right? Yeah, I really like this knife. That's the thing. I really like it, so I want it to work for me. Let's just check the other screws. I probably did this in the unboxing. So this will probably be a not disassembly. It'll be a first impressions. Not gonna touch those. I did try O-rings, so I'll show you what I did. So I took these O-rings and I put them on the studs. And I was thinking it'd be cool to get like white ones, or I don't know, you could get different colored ones. I don't have different O-rings. These are for pivots. I mean, they're for whatever, but so I put those on there, and they don't touch the frame, so they're not causing any detent lash or anything. And then when you flick, they don't touch the frame. They're not stops or anything. So basically you just have an aesthetic thing going on. And I don't think they dampen the sound at all. I think if anything they help me with my thumb. Like, they feel good. So I might try to find different colored O-rings somewhere. I think TRM sells them for their knives, and I would assume they would fit here. And, you know, I could change the color depending on the day or whatever I want to do. And I think that's kind of unique and cool. I haven't really messed with the clip too much because I've been carrying my Winter Blade Co. Factor in the left pocket. It's one of the things I love about this knife is to me, it's a high-end EDC knife. And it works left-handed. By the way, shout out to Brian over at Winter Blade Co. I had to send this to him because I had lock stick, I guess we'll call it. I think the hockey puck in here, he calls it the ice hockey puck because it looks like, it doesn't look like the puck, honestly. It looks like the, what are those even called? The sticks? They're not sticks, but the discs, I guess, that you would use to hit the puck. That's what it looks like. I actually have one. Hold on a second. Just bear with me. Shit. Oh, of course. It slid. So when he sent it back, he sent me this. And Brian's just a good dude, by the way. There's a puck in here. I wonder how you get it out. Oh, there you go. So this is the OG puck. This is the one that was in my knife, right? And the difference is this one seems to have a stronger magnet in there. And I don't know if the magnets are glued in there or how they're crimped in or something. I can't just pull it out right now. That would kind of defeat the purpose, I guess. But this one was stronger. So, like, I don't know. As far as I understand, Best Tech kind of sourced their own magnets for this project. So there were some that were just a little bit different. You know what I mean? So depending on what you want, you can kind of adjust it. I think he's thinking about, with the batch 2s, I think he was thinking about giving an extra one or two with each one. So you could have a light, medium, and a strong. And essentially what it does is it makes it to where if that magnet in there is weaker, this disengaging is easier, right? And for me with this one, the one that's in here, it just was really a strong magnet, and it would kind of I'd have to like get it like an angle like this to pull it down to break it free. So it wasn't really lock stick. I think it would have maybe gotten better and better as it went on, but I spent days flicking this over and over. My finger was raw from disengaging it, and I tried the marker, and that stuff works for break-in, but I don't think it was a break-in issue. I think it was just the lock itself. So he was nice enough to swap that out. So I sent it to him, And so he sent me the old one. He sent me this cool little tube. And then he actually went ahead and he put a vial of something into this bar here. Now, I don't know of a good way to make sure it doesn't come out. I was thinking an O-ring might work, because I could take an O-ring like this. And this just turned into a factor video, but we'll call it Shenanigans with Kev. Take this, which again I think is tritium, but I there's no way I could be sure. It might just be a UV one that he torched, because I haven't done anything with it. So it does want to stick at the bottom there. It's just at the top. It doesn't want to stay in up here, right? So I was thinking could do that. And as long as, boom, as long as it's, oh, you know what though? As soon as I deploy this, what's going to happen? You ready? Surprisingly, it didn't flop off, but my guess is it's going to just cut it off, right? Well, is it pushing? Oh, wait. But it's catching on the inside. Okay, got it. So it's causing issues when it gets pushed in. So I don't know. That doesn't work, clearly. So I just have to keep an eye on it, because you saw it just came out. What I'd been doing is just pushing it back and forth. There's probably something I could do, like put something over, but again, it has to be able to push through. Has to be able to go into the handle. So, I don't know. Just keep an eye on it, I guess. But anyway, I'd been carrying this because my thumb, again, is a little jacked up. So I hadn't really wanted to carry the Jasmine yet. And I had just gotten this one back. Absolutely love this knife, too. That obviously helps a little bit. It stays very tight. I haven't Loctited it or anything. I just tightened. I don't think I did anyway. And he took it apart to put that in, so I'm sure he didn't. So it tends to stay lined up nice and centered. Oh, yeah, I also added this screw, because in my review, I kind of bitched about having an open hole there. So I absolutely love this knife. I highly recommend it. Hopefully you're one of the 2,000 people who pre-ordered one. But yeah, so I got studs on here, and maybe we'll just rock that, and I'll try to get the different colored studs, and we'll just carry the knife, right? Like you should when you buy a $650 custom, and we'll see what comes of it, right? Let me check the clip again. Yeah, that clip is wonderful in the pocket, in and out, comes out, flick, like so. Pick it up and flick it, Kat. Pick it up, flick it. Okay, I mean, pick it up and flick it. Yeah, I'm tearing my finger up a little bit. I think that's a lot to do with the damage already there. So I may need to wait until this heals a little bit more before I start carrying this, because I can only reverse flick it, which is fine, but I do like thumb flicking when I can, right? So the review for this is probably going to be a little bit down the road. I don't think I'm going to just impulse sell it or anything, because I love Ray, right? So it means something to me that he made a knife for me. I know he made a bunch of them, but he did make a knife for me. I love the hollow grind. I think ergonomically, this is one of the most comfortable knives I've handled. Partly because it's actually made to be left-handed, but I mean, it's not that much different left or right. It's just an extremely comfortable knife. The clip is so low profile, yet works amazingly well. Do I wish it was a sheep's foot? Yes. I wish this had a low down tip, and this knife would be perfection in that case. I tried. When I ordered it, I was like, can I get a sheep's foot? And he's like, just what it's pictured. And I was like, can I customize it at all? And he's like, just what's pictured, Kev. It's like, God damn it, right? So it's just a CJ, you know, custom Jasmine plain Jane. But it'll still do what I need it to do. I can go into a pinch grip. I can get to that tip relatively easily. It has a good blade. It has a great hollow grind. So I'm very excited to use it. I did find, I don't know if it was rust, but I used a Q-tip and some alcohol, and I was cleaning around the studs on the blade, and I was getting rust-colored stuff. There was also something in the Laconico. I don't know if that's just machine-wise. That's just something. I've cleaned that a couple times with alcohol. I'm just hoping it's not some kind of rust forming. I did put knife shield on here from Knife Pivot Lube when I got it. So hopefully it's not anything like that. You can see the centering is dead on. And here's the knife again up close. So I think I've rambled a bit on this one. I apologize for that, guys. I'm just kind of talking at this point, and I am excited for this knife, and that's why I'm so indecisive about what I want to do, because I really like it. So I just want it to be good. Do I wish it was on bearings and it dropped shut? I do. But at the same time, then it would be like every other knife I own. And would it be as special, so to speak? Would it stand out to me if it did that? Maybe not. So maybe it's good that it doesn't. Maybe it's good that I plan to carry a washer knife and see how it goes long term, you know? And I think what helps a lot is that this doesn't break the bank. You know, it's $650, which I get in, the scheme of things. It is a lot of money for a knife, but this is a custom handmade knife by Ray Laconico. Prolific, right? So I see that as a very valuable value. I bought a Tough Knives Reset Lefty, same build. I still gotta ask Ray what the steel is on this. I'm gonna guess 154 CM or CPM 154 or Nitro V, but I don't know. But I had one at Nitro V, same build from Tough Knives. I mean, Nitro V blade, stonewash, titanium frame lock Lefty. That one had some blue accents, but that's it. And that was $1,300. So it was basically double the price. So I think Ray is offering his knives at a good price. Now that was on bearings. I even provided the freaking bearings for that. And I love that knife. The Tough Knives Reset was amazing. Part of the reason I sold it was because I knew I had this coming. I love this swedge up here, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that does help a lot with the aesthetic. Look at that. Beautiful. So, all right, I'm going to shut up. I'll give you guys a full review at some point. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And, of course, I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.